Rachel Hill.
All right, what's up? This is your girl Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports, and we are coming to you from live in Cleveland. This is her in a huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. So we always try to give you some of the hottest sports talk in the world. So thank you so much for joining us. And I do have a guest host. Well, he is my co-host, Willie Epting Jr. in the house from Shake Back Sports Show, Sports Network, and all of the above. What's up, Willie, man? How you doing, sir?
What's going on, Cuyahoga County, Ohio, Northeast Ohio, Cleveland?
Yeah. You doing all right?
I'm doing terrific. Glad to be back in the huddle with her or she or you or somebody.
What's the weather down there like in Texas?
It's criminally hot. Criminally hot. And when I say criminally hot, what I mean is, the air temperature may be 93, but the heat index is 107.
Yeah, the weather is nice here too. We working on something right now. I can't hear you. Can you hear me though? You can hear me fine though, right?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
I feel like I can hear him a little bit too. So Willie, we gonna just bear with us one moment, everybody. You listen to WOVU 95.9 FM, her in the huddle. You can always download the app WOVU from your app store, and you can play it and listen to your favorite personalities all the time. You can also listen to us live on WOVU.org. And then you can also give us a call at 216-271-0959 anytime you want to listen to us on your regular radio station. So we're working on something right quick in the studio to make sure everybody can hear me. So I am talking. I say keep talking. But one of the things that we're going to get into is OTA. So mandatory OTA started all throughout football. So one of the great things that took place today was a lot of players showed up. So Jadeveon Clowney was here in the house today. So there is some video of him on Cleveland.com getting busy out there messing with some tackle dummies and things of that nature.
He can't hear you.
Willie, you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Willie said he can hear me. So, hello?
Yeah.
Okay. Willie, I can hear you a smidgen. I can't hear anything in my headphones.
Oh, you couldn't hear it because you had the wrong plug in extension.
All right. So, but also too with training camp, Odell Beckham was in training camp and he looked good, and some of his peers talked about how good he looked as well. And out there on the field with everybody. So that's always a good sign when you got Odell in the building doing drills with everybody, and his peers admit that he looks good and he looks to be back at 100%. So that's always a good thing when it comes to Cleveland Browns football. But yeah, it's a good day because that means that football is right around the corner. It's here very soon. Yesterday I had Cleveland Kate with me, and we talked about how close football is coming around. Willie said it's coming around. It's coming around full circle. So I think most of America, there's sometimes it's a little polarizing. Right now, the NBA is, in playoffs, which is good. But you got your baseball fans who love baseball, but you got people who don't love baseball. So they're kind of trapped in the in-between, and the NBA is winding down. So you got a lot of basketball fans. So now you're in that period where almost all the sports are kind of intertwining. So they give you a little football, and then they take a little bit of football away from you. So that's the one part that's kind of bad that, we don't like for the most part. How do you feel about that, Willie?
Well, I saw something a couple of weeks ago where there was pro football on, there was baseball on, there was basketball on, pro basketball on, college baseball on, college softball on, and then there was hockey. So there were 7 major sports on at the same time. pretty much.
So, yeah, he's good. You just can't.
We are definitely in that.
We fix that, but as long as he's on, it's fine.
We're definitely in that time where we have it's like the birth of a new baby, because mini camps, and then you're gonna have training camps is gonna be kicking off probably within the next 5 to 6 weeks. And with Pittsburgh and Dallas playing in the Hall of Fame game right there in y'all's backyard, they're going to jump on everybody else because they played the first preseason game. So you're right. And, baseball is baseball. And even though it is a 162 game season, this year to me feels different. Maybe it's because last year was such a shortened year. Although I did love the playoff format with all of the teams in to try to make up for the revenue that was lost and really the excitement that was lost too. But for this year, there's been a lot of great things going on, a lot of great things that have happened to the no-hitters, to the Trey Mancinis of the world, and what he's been able to do coming off the colon cancer treatment. I'm just I'm that fan right now that is looking very much forward to the next 7 to 8 weeks. I actually had on my show on yesterday. I had defensive back Jonathan McGill from the Stanford Cardinal. I've covered him since he was in high school, since he was a freshman, and he was a freshman playing 6A ball, which is the biggest division out here in Texas. And he just kept growing and growing and growing. So he talked about how excited he was for the fans to be back in the seats there on the farm. So we already know that college football is going to be at a fever pitch, probably unlike we've never seen before.
Yeah. Do you think there's any concerns with all those people that's going to be in the stands and they're still not there? The pandemic is still not over, even though things are opening back up. Do you have concerns?
Nope. I'm gonna tell you why. The pandemic is over. The pandemic is over. Say it with me. There's life and death. There's life and death in the power of the tongue. I need you to say it with me. The pandemic, by faith, is over. And what that means is we're going to be able to get back to all of the things that we love. California, as a matter of fact, is one of only a few states that has had no other high volumes of increased cases, no high volume of increased hospitalizations. None of that is going on out there. And there's 4 Pac-12 teams in California. So Jonathan was like, yo, it's going to be a blast. Game day is an experience that is unlike any other, especially on the college level. And they were robbed of that last year because of the pandemic.
Yeah, I don't know if I can get with you on that chant just yet, Willie, because it ain't over yet. You got people still sick and dying. So I can't get there just yet. I want to be there with you. I want to be on that ride. I want to say that. But right now, when your coworkers are dying, because we did have a coworker pass of COVID, and, my friend's father, died of COVID. I'm like, it's still here. There's still reporting deaths every day. They're not a ton like there used to be. So I'm super grateful for that. But, hopefully people will get vaccinated against COVID and also continue to take those precautions, such as washing their hands, which is one of the most effective things to do against any disease, is just wash your hands. So that's super important. I saw on the screen while you were talking, George, obviously wants to get into the Major League Baseball cheating. We're going to talk about that. So sorry about that. We were trying to get everything squared away. I know the audience could hear me, but I couldn't hear people back. So we had to fix some things, but we're straight now. And also Tim said that OBJ sucks. So we're going to get into that a little bit, but wanted to talk about the cheating thing. So now all of a sudden baseball wants to talk about cheating, and they released a memo today about what's going to happen if someone is accused of cheating. They're going to be conducting random spot checks. The first infraction is 10 days, and then outside of that, I think that's going to be up to the league. Correct, Willie?
That is correct, and they will put the hammer down on those that continue to be that continue to get busted for this allegation, and then ultimately not the conviction, I guess, for the lack of a better word, before for them getting caught. And it could get ugly before it could get better, because you just have some people out there that are just going to continue to push the envelope. And, we don't want that to happen, particularly towards the end of the season, where you start seeing the stars, the star pitchers getting out of the game because they got busted.
Well, one of the things is, I told you that we talked about Shane Bieber yesterday, but one of the questions that I had posed to Nat and Kate in our pre-production meeting was, is Shane Bieber really hurt, or is it Shane Bieber can't cheat no more? So pretty much what, I was told is that every pitcher pretty much cheats. So is Major League Baseball doing something about this now, because hitting is down and they have all these no-nos, and right now it's a pitching defined game and not a hitter's game? Is this one of the reasons why they need more hits to generate more revenue and more excitement? Because let's be real here, chicks dig the long ball. So you're not seeing a ton of those in baseball right now. You're seeing, teams post up, maybe 1 or 2 hits per game. So do you think this is what is fanning the flames and bringing about this stuff going on right now?
You know what? That's a very interesting perspective about Shane Bieber, and one that I hadn't even thought about, the fact that he's going to be out for a minimum of 10 days or 10 games or whatever, 10 days.
Yeah, 10 days on the IL.
On the injured list. So I don't know if he was cheating, because they can't punish a person or discipline a person before the rule came into place. I know there was a rule already out there, but they've really made some enhancements with this. So I don't know if it's necessarily that this time, but in terms of chicks digging the long ball and all that stuff, I don't want to see, or I don't want the game to go back to what it was during the performance enhancing.
Why not? That's when it was fun.
No,
make baseball great again. Roll it up.
Because it puts such a stain on the sport, and a lot of people that really weren't that good became great in like 1 year, and then they disappeared. Brady Anderson, 90210, where are you? Because you hit 50 home runs 1 year, and you had I think you had a combined 50 or so home runs
your whole career.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't want to see it elevated to that extreme, because it put a stain on the sport. And at that point, baseball was coming off of the strike, and we talked about this before on the show. Baseball was coming off of a strike where the Toronto Blue Jays were robbed of a potential repeat. So we're not in that state of mind or that state of baseball right now in the sport of baseball, because it's just people. Look, I went off on baseball about this in my show last week, and I am so sick of seeing people in the shift in the infield. I hate that.
Why?
Huh?
Why? Defensive strategy, man.
No, but the thing, okay, we're talking about hitting though, right? So if we're talking about hitting and you are a professional batter, why in the world can you not shoot the ball the opposite way? Something that you've been taught since you were in Little League. Now you get to the big leagues and it's all about launch angles and feet and all that stuff.
Science rules the roost.
Yeah, well, whatever. Because
I gotta ask you something though, because we gotta take a break in a hot second. So you talking about the strike of '94 in which the Indians, the Blue Jays would have had to go through the Indians, who was crushing the league at that time?
Yeah, that
one. Oh, okay. Because there was no guarantee that they was gonna repeat, because they would have had to get past Cleveland Indians, which were the number 1 team in baseball then. So okay, right. I just check in, wanted to make sure that what you really meant to say was the Cleveland Indians was robbed of a chance to go to the World Series. That's what you meant to say, right? Because you keep on talking about these Blue Jays who wasn't going to repeat.
If that's how y'all interpreted it up there in Cleveland, then I'm good with that.
That's absolutely how I interpret it.
All I'm saying is that the Blue Jays won the World Series the year before.
That's absolutely how we interpret the strike of '94 here.
Okay, cool.
That's how we do it. So we're gonna take this quick break right quick, and then we're gonna come back. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU at 95.9 FM. We will be right back.
Oh my God.
Is now at the shops at Parma. Grab your prehistoric passport and join over 40 giant moving dinosaurs on a globe-trotting expedition at Dino Safari. A fun and safe drive-through dino adventure for the whole family.
We had a wonderful time here. It was awesome. The dinosaurs were realistic. The kids were excited, and they learned a lot.
This is the only Cleveland area appearance. Only at the shops at Parma, now through June 27th.
And WOVU is the only place you can get free tickets. Wherever you see WOVU this summer, we are giving away free tickets to Dino Safari. Keep your ear to the speaker because this deal gets even sweeter. Every ticket gets 6 people into the park. Summer is open and WOVU has your back with free tickets from our friends at Dino Safari. Brought to you by WOVU 95.9 FM. Our Voices United, a Burton Bell Carr community radio station.
Hi, this is Cassandra Saladin, and you are listening to WOVU 95.9 FM. It is awesome. Come get you some.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports.
Heyo, welcome back. This is Her in the Huddle on WOVU at 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, and I'm here with Willie Epting coming from Dallas.
Oh my
Dallas.
God.
Houston.
No.
Look, it's the same city.
No,
Jeez.
not even close. Okay.
It's the same city.
No, not
Right?
even. No, that's
Right?
like that's like saying Cleveland and Pittsburgh are the same.
But that's not even in the same state. At least Dallas and Houston are in the same state.
Okay, that's like saying Dayton and Toledo are the same.
They kind of are, though. They're both whack. Nobody lives there. Nobody goes there. Dayton produces the mead factory. Remember your spirals in grade school? The ones that say mead?
Yeah.
That's produced in Dayton. And Toledo, they produce glass. So maybe some of the glasses you drink out of that come in, glass sets might come. Libby is in Toledo. So I think they call it the glass city. So those are the things that come out of Toledo and Dayton. Other than that, they really don't exist. They have universities there somehow, but they really don't exist.
But the University of Dayton produced the Player of the Year. The Naismiths. Okay. Let me do Houston. Dallas are nothing alike. The weather down there, the heat down there is more unbearable than it is here.
In Houston?
Yes.
Oh. Okay, you in Dallas. Coming from Dallas, Willie Epting, Shakeback Sports Network.
Shakeback Sports Show, BGC Sports Network.
All that. So back to this baseball thing. So what do you think about the punishment? Does the punishment fit the crime?
I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I can't answer that question.
Will people actually get caught?
Yeah.
Will baseball? So let me backtrack. Will baseball actually enforce its own rules?
Yes.
And for how long?
This is going to be enforced because of what I said in the first segment. But is somebody going to get caught? Yeah, because it's going to be random, and they can look. They're going to find a loophole. They're going to find a loophole.
So let me ask you this then. That white bag on the pitcher's mound is rosin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And most of these guys who are pitchers are typically white. Well, everybody should be wearing sunscreen according to doctors. Everybody should be wearing sunscreen. So supposedly the combination of sunscreen and rosin is a cheating combination as well. So how do you police that?
Ask Rob Manfred. Because I don't know.
If somebody's in a dome, that's different. There's no sun in a dome. So that's a little different. But most baseball is played outdoors around the time the sun is setting. Mm-hmm. So the sun is still powerful at that time, and people need sunscreen for their skin. So how do you, and that's the thing I want to know, how do you police that most basic form of cheating? Because it is a form of cheating. How are you going to police that?
Well,
say, oh, you can't rub on yourself. You can't touch yourself. You can't wipe sweat off. I mean, but think about it, though. When players are wiping sweat off, sometimes you use your hands and stuff like that. I shouldn't be touching my face because that's bad. But, you know what I'm saying? That combination is going to be there.
Yeah, but the thing is that I'm pretty sure they have a step or two that they're going to add that's going to eliminate the possibility of that taking place. I don't know. Yeah. Like when the pitcher goes to the mouth when it's cold outside, there's another step that they have to take after that.
Yeah, and then they switch out balls maybe after like 10 pitches or something like that too. So
they need to change the ball. They need to have a ball that's similar to the one in Japan, the one that they use. Where
they said it is closer to that. They tinker with the ball every year.
Well, I mean, that's their bad then. I mean,
I need a job like that. Just tinker with baseballs all year. That's what I need to be doing.
I almost said something right there, but this is a PG rated show.
Yes, monitored by the FCC. So yes, it absolutely is. But if that was I wish that kind of was like my job, just to mess with baseballs and configure. But that's when science and physics and all that come into play. And then we all thought Trevor Bauer was doing something great, and he talked about spin rate, this and other, and he was cheating like everybody else. So also in this document as well, it also notates if a field player is caught, tampering with the ball or anything like that for their pitcher, also the catcher as well. So it gets into every player, and that's the thing. So if it befalls on the officials to check it, it's going to be caught a little bit more often, because if I'm a skipper, I'm not telling them to check anybody's glove because I know my guy's cheating too.
Yeah, and then on top of that, the more it continues to happen, then the franchise becomes culpable for some sort of fine or some sort of punishment as well.
And a lot of franchises really don't want that smoke after coming off this pandemic and not having the ability to make money in the way that they want to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure that they don't want, especially cash-strapped franchises like the Indians. And Chris Antonetti actually spoke on that it's going to take them years to come out of the hole that was put on them due to the pandemic. So cash-strapped organizations, really, they're not going to want to kind of deal with the financial repercussions of being caught cheating, you would hope. So
I'm not sure if it's going to take years. I mean, that may be a little bit of an exaggeration, and maybe
he might have been keeping it real, but look, the Indians have one of the lowest payrolls in baseball. So for a team like the Indians, I believe that.
Well, yeah, and I'm thinking on a larger scale, because it ain't going to stop the New York Yankees from spending money. And with the way that they're going right now, they better look. They are in some trouble. They are in a lot of trouble, really, if you ask me. But that's neither here nor there. But sometimes it may be just a ploy to increase awareness for the hopes of getting additional sponsors. So I don't know. We'll see. I know Cleveland is a smaller market team, just like Oakland, just like Minneapolis, just like Seattle. I mean, there's more smaller market teams than there are the bigger markets, and that's where the revenue sharing comes in too. So we'll see.
Yeah, so Indians got a win last night, 4-3. I missed the game, unfortunately. I came home after the show and fell asleep. So there was a rain delay, so the game didn't get going until about 8:30 at night. So I missed it, but the Indians were able to pull out a win, 4-3. Jose Ramirez had a double, and I don't really hear Jose getting as much love nationally, but he was on par with Francisco Lindor when Francisco was here, and pretty much he is that leader of the Indians now that Francisco is gone. What do you think from your perspective, or outside of a Cleveland perspective, about Jose Ramirez and that bat that he has and how much has helped the Cleveland Indians?
Well, I mean, he's been in the running for the MVP more than once, including last year. So, and with Francisco Lindor being there at shortstop and him being there at third, of course, I mean, they had one of the better left sides of the infield in the majors. So I believe that it has allowed, Ramirez to, like you said, become a little bit more of a leader. And that is something that comes from either the catcher, the first baseman, or one of those left-sided left infielders. And they need him. What he's doing right now, they need him to do that, because of the struggles that they've had. I don't know how well Rosario is playing. I know there were big expectations from him coming over from the Twins because of what he has done to the Indians over the years. So I believe that Ramirez is doing exactly what the Indians need him to do, and he may even need to do a little bit more because of the pitching woes that you guys have right now.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. You know, we talked about this a little bit yesterday with Nat, is that we've always been known for our pitching, but right now our pitching is a hot mess because we have so many injuries and, you know, some of our starters have not panned out like we needed them to. So right now we really need the Pats to come alive, and we really need, you know, Jose. Well, not Jose, because Jose is amazing. But right now this is where leadership comes into play. And, you know, he tells those younger guys and shows them how they got to get it done, because Baltimore is one of the worst teams in the league, and you're squeaking out victories, a 4-3 victory over them. And I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. So, yeah, now we're really about to see what type of manager Tito is as well with this decimated starting lineup. And Aaron Savali is the ace. But, you know, quietly, he's been pitching better than Shane Bieber all season long. So, you know what you're going to get out of him. You know that you're going to that start, you know, when he starts, it's going to be a solid day. So, you know, hats off to Jose Ramirez, and he'll probably be an all-star again. And Matt Rosario been doing okay, but you know who really on the Twins is really a Indians killer?
Who's that?
Max Kepler. He eats us for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And on Wikipedia, on Trevor Bauer's Wikipedia page, says that Max Kepler is the owner of Trevor Bauer as well, because he always went yard on Trevor Bauer. So that's nothing new. Like always, every time Trevor Bauer pitched.
That might be the reason why he's in the National League now. I'm getting away from that guy.
Yeah, man. He just couldn't get it going against them. So anything else you wanted to say about baseball, about what came out today?
Well, I wanted to just kind of read some of the comments that we're getting on social media. George, who's always so supportive and always so wonderful.
G-Money.
He says the pandemic is slowly ending, not over, but slow progress is happening. By the way, he is fully vaccinated and happy. So shout out to George for getting the old 2 shots, or maybe he got the 1 shot. He also says that when we were talking about the shift earlier, he said at one time to try and play the shift on the greatest hitter of all time in Ted Williams, and that shift was conjured by a player manager by the name of Lou Boudreau. Well, okay, that may be that's really good historical information to have, but we have not seen the shift and the prominence that it is in right now up until about maybe 5 to 6 years ago. So that look, when I see that, I'm like, yo, just lay down up front. Just lay down up front, and you got an easy single. That's all.
Yeah, it's on the batter to defeat that. If you see that's the defensive position they're going to take, that's on the batter to defeat that. Put it where nobody is. Put it in the same place every time until somebody stop you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I learned in every sport, especially lacrosse. Put that goal in the same place every time until they stop you, and then you put it somewhere else because they know where you're going.
Yes. Hit them where they ain't.
So, yeah, that's the way I look at it. Well, let's go ahead and take this break that we're going to take right now, because when we come back, we're going to talk about some basketball. We're going to talk about some NBA playoffs, how exciting those are. We got 3 series locked up at 2-2 all, and the Phoenix Sun just kind of mollywopped out there on the Nuggets. So that was very interesting. And then want to talk a little NFL football, talk about your quarterback, Mr. Derek Carr, and some of the comments that he had. So we're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM, and we'll be right back.
WOVU 95.9 FM salutes Ward 5 Councilwoman Phyllis Cleveland, celebrating 15 years of strong leadership and heartfelt service to the city of Cleveland. Although she has retired after a 15-year tenure as councilwoman, Phyllis Cleveland's impact on this city and its residents lives on. When you wave to your friends in Arbor Park Village, think Phyllis Cleveland. When you visit the Care Alliance Health Center, think Phyllis Cleveland. When you see the purple sky above the Green City Growers Greenhouse at Kinsman and Grand Avenue, think Phyllis Cleveland. When you attend concerts and support businesses at the Box Spot, think Phyllis Cleveland. To you, Phyllis Cleveland, we give thanks. Thank you for standing up for those in crisis caused by the pandemic. Thank you for standing up for our health and well-being. Thank you for creating job opportunities and greater access to career training. Thank you for standing up for safety and justice in our city. Thank you for supporting the mission of Burton Bell Carr Development Incorporated. On behalf of WOVU 95.9 FM, Burton Bell Carr, our Executive Director, Joy Johnson, our Board of Directors, our staff, our partners, and our friends, we salute you, Phyllis E. Cleveland, for your dedicated service to Ward 5 residents and the city of Cleveland. From our hearts to yours, we thank you.
Hello, this is Ronnie Cannon, Community Engagement Manager from Towards Employment, and you're listening to WOVU 95.9 FM, Burton Bell Carr Community Radio.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports, and I am here with Willie Epstein coming from Dallas, Texas. Willie, what's up, sir? I said, what's up, sir?
What's going on? I'm in Dallas.
I said Dallas. I got it right this time. I did not say Houston. I worked very hard on making sure I got it right this time. And that's it.
Yeah, you did.
I worked very hard on that, okay? Put a lot of effort in there. But Willie, man, these NBA playoffs, man. Was you expecting? I know they're talking about playoffs. We're talking about playoffs right now. Not practice. We ain't talking about practice. We're talking about playoffs.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, go ahead.
I was gonna say, how exciting is this?
Well, I mean, I don't really care as much since the Lakers are gone, but that's the thing.
Wait, what?
Don't you heard what I said?
I mean, they were trash.
No, they were not.
Outside of LeBron, AD being hurt, the rest of that squad was trash, and that's why they're not there now.
They weren't trash. They were not trash. As a matter of fact,
they're sitting at home like you.
I'm gonna move. Okay, I'm gonna move on from that part of the topic because you did ask me a question. You know what? Aside from the Lakers being gone, it's kind of weird not seeing Steph in the playoffs. It's kind of weird not seeing Clay in the playoffs. It's really weird to see.
They were there last year.
Well, that's because Clay was out. If Clay, if Clay and Steph were there together this year, they would have been in the playoffs and they probably would have gone to the second round easily. But anyway, I think the most exciting series has been the Hawks and the 76ers. Last night's game in Atlanta was a terrific game. And Trae Young is reminding everybody that he is the man. When he was at Oklahoma, he was the man on it. And the knock on him was that he was a smaller version, or he's a smaller guard, and he has defensive deficiencies. But this one play that I saw him make last night, where he drove the lane and he did a wraparound pass to Collins in the corner for a three. The wraparound pass, was on Joel Embiid, if I'm not mistaken. But he seems to be able to get to the paint with little ease, or with little resistance. And his floater is the best in the game. Yes,
really?
It is.
Okay.
And if Philly's not careful, and
they might lose this series.
They lose this game, particularly with Embiid's leg or his knee having issues, and he was like 1 for 18 yesterday in the second half. If they mess around and go back to Philly and let the Hawks get game 5,
Game 6, it can be. The series can be had.
It could be done. It could be done.
So how did he look at the second half besides the 118? Did he look like he was in physical pain? Could he get it up and down the court?
He just looked very tired. He looked very tired, and he was bending over at the knees, pulling his shorts a lot in the second half. And I can't remember him even being taken out. He may have been out the first part of the fourth quarter, but the 76ers had a double-digit lead into the second half, deep into the second half. And for a team that has Embiid, that is an all-defensive team type of player, Ben Simmons, who actually made the team. Look, you think that they're going to be up by double digits, that they're going to be able to close it out. But then they couldn't hit any shots at all. Tobias Harris was horrible. Pat Connaughton, he couldn't hit it. He couldn't throw it in the ocean standing on the beach. And then Ben Simmons, he's self-checked as it is.
I ain't heard that in a minute, man. Self-check.
He is self-checked as it is. Look, if I'm playing against Ben Simmons, I'm going to let him bring the ball all the way, and I'm just going to sag to the free throw line extended and make him shoot jumpers. He's not going to do it.
You said self-check, man. That's funny.
Yeah.
An NBA player self-checking himself. Usually that's reserved for, number 5 or something like that, So Philly could mess around and lose this series. So the next game is going to be in Philly, right? So they go back to Philly for game 5 because we're tied 2-2. So Atlanta probably can smell blood in the water, especially with Joel Embiid being hurt. You don't have that interior defense, so they should be able to get to the hole rather nicely. And knowing that they can shake him and move around them, and that those mobility issues are there. So I think it's looking good for Atlanta to get in there and take maybe game 5 and go ahead and get that game 6 in Atlanta.
Yeah, and with the other series, with Brooklyn being wounded, I actually saw that James Harden is supposed to play tonight. Don't know how effective he's going to be. Kyrie, of course, is out. But Kevin Durant, can we switch over to this other series real quick?
I was going to say, let's do it.
Okay. Kevin Durant is being punked.
Why you say that?
By PJ Tucker.
Oh, yeah. We all know Kevin Durant is soft. He had a burner account. Are we supposed to be surprised at that?
No, I mean, but this is what he does, though. This is what really he asked for. This is the reason why he left the Golden State Warriors, because he didn't want to be on the team with Draymond and Clay and Steph anymore, even though he's going to be the best player on whatever team he goes to. I mean, if he even goes to the Clippers with Kawhi and PG there, he's going to be the best team or best player on the team.
Golden State never needed him. He needed Golden State.
Exactly. But after he discovered that he thought he didn't need them, what he's getting now is what he asked for. I want to be the man. I want the offense to run through me. I want to be the alpha. But
wasn't he that in Oklahoma City? He just lost.
No,
to the better squad.
No. He wasn't the alpha. Mentally wise, he was not the alpha. That was Russell Westbrook. That was Russell Westbrook. That's where, in my opinion, they say they get along. You can get along off the court, but if you don't get along on the court, it doesn't matter about off the court. And as a matter of fact, that's the same thing that they said about him and James Harden when they were both in Houston. Now, James Harden lobbied to get Russell Westbrook in Houston, so then the trade was made. Oh, that's my boy. We played together in OKC. Yeah, but you got to realize, man, that when y'all played together in Oklahoma City, both of y'all were different players then than what you are now.
Because Russ gonna get his stats regardless. I gotta get my stats.
and Harden is gonna put up. Look, let me tell you a quick story about James Harden. I don't like him.
Why?
I don't like him. And the reason why I don't like him is because after a game that the Rockets played here in Dallas, I went into the locker room and I got to talk to James Harden. And I said, yo, James, your step back game is ridiculous, man. Is that something you just want to or is that something that you pull out of your hat when you feel like your team needs momentum, or you just kind of play it as is? And then he paused for a second, looked at me like this, and said to me, so this is the first time you've seen my game?
Ooh.
I was like, nah, man, I'm just saying it's really dope to see it in person. I still have that sounder, by the way.
Yeah. And what he said then?
That was the last statement. I forgot what his answer was, but I was so teed off about how he handled me.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, when he come back, I'm gonna get him again. And
athletes, I think one thing people don't realize is that there's a lot of stuff that they don't hear, but athletes can be very nasty to journalists at times. And that night that in 2019, right before the pandemic happened, Houston had came to Cleveland. And Houston, I think Cavs might have pushed them. I think maybe Houston won in overtime. And normally I start off in the Cleveland Cavaliers locker room, but and then I ended up going to the Houston locker room because James Harden and Russell Westbrook were here. Cavs are trash, so I go into the opposing team's locker room. And the reporters that were standing outside was like, it took a minute to go in because all they could hear of them was yelling. So they were fighting in the locker room because they almost lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers. So when we went in there, like literally they spoke for like 30 seconds each and pretty much dared anybody to ask questions to the contrary. And I didn't say anything. I was going to say something, but I'm like, I ain't getting cussed out today, even though I go in there, I got a job to do. Sometimes you just don't feel like they're bull, and just hearing something negative and them being nasty for no reason because they in a bad mood. They know what we're there for. They know we're there to ask questions. You don't have to be nasty. So I feel you. I've been there before. I've had players and managers or coaches be nasty to me as well. So, I get it. So I'm not surprised at all. And it's a little shocking when you see somebody, you idolize them and you think, man, this person is great. They're a great player. And then you get in front of them, they're kind of nasty. So, it is what it is. But
I know he's one of the best offensive players in the history of the game.
Yeah.
But what? He put his pants on one leg at a time, just like I do.
Yeah.
And I don't care what kind of mood they in. If I'm down there and I'm serving the game and I want to ask a question, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask a question. I'm not intimidated by him. Not any of them. None of them.
I'm not, but sometimes I just don't feel like it. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like it. I got enough going on.
I always feel like it because that's what I'm down.
Because y'all men, man. Y'all men. I'm like, I don't feel like they bull today. That's all. Yeah. Like I just, they answered the questions, but it was what it was. So. Yeah. But yeah, I get that. But yeah, so James Harden, do you think he's ready to come back tonight, or he's just coming back because Kyrie is out and they know that they could potentially lose the series?
Well, if he weren't ready to play, because all jokes aside and personal feelings aside, if that dude has enough gumption and enough treatment to where he can go, he's gonna go. Because he is not like James Harden to just miss games for the heck of it. And particularly now, because I think somewhat that all of their legacies, not really on the line, but this is a legacy defining moment for all three of these guys, for Kyrie, for Kevin Durant, and for James Harden, and probably more so James Harden than Irving and Durant, because he's the only one that doesn't have a ring.
Mm-hmm. No, Durant got a ring. You mean Harden?
No, Harden doesn't have a ring.
Yeah, you said Durant don't got a ring.
Oh, did I?
You meant Harden.
Yeah, I meant Harden. Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah. Oh no, you welcome. No problem. I got your back, man. I got your back. Yeah. So that. So what you think gonna happen tonight?
I think the Bucks are gonna find a way to gut it out.
Ooh, in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a spicy take.
No, well, they're gonna be at home. Harden's coming back. The crowd is gonna be in a frenzy. Those players from the Bucks and really role players for most teams like that, they always play better at home than they do on the road. I think they're gonna gut out the win and take it back to Milwaukee, and they're gonna win it in 6.
Milwaukee?
No,
or Brooklyn. Oh, okay. I thought you said Milwaukee was gonna go into Brooklyn tonight and win. That's what I thought you said.
I said the Nets are gonna gut it out.
Oh, it would be interesting. I wouldn't mind seeing Milwaukee win in Brooklyn, and then Brooklyn winning in Milwaukee, and then it's going to a game 7. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I think that would be a good treat for us, especially because Phoenix went ahead and swept Denver and LA is out.
Well, I'm not rooting for any team that James Harden plays on.
I mean, I don't have a horse in this race anymore anyway, but I'm just saying, as far as the excitement goes, Hannigan Van Meter says, hate to disagree, but I do. On what point, Hannigan?
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah. Oh, he said I'm right on this one. But yeah, I think that's a treat for NBA fans. Harden is the GOAT.
Oh, gosh.
But I'm just thinking
Wait. Hannigan, how can someone consider the GOAT or the GOAT with no championship rings and only one finals appearance in his whole career? Answer that for me, please.
But what point do we start judging people not by their rings, but by their play?
Okay, a person that does not have a ring cannot be in the conversation as a GOAT. Cannot. Now, you can say he's one of the GOATs at his position, but you're not. Who are you going to put him in front of? You ain't going to put him in front of Wilt. You're not going to put him in front of LeBron. You're not going to put him in front of Magic Johnson. You're not going to put him in front of Kareem. You're not going to put him in front of Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. Who are you going to put him in front of? He ain't on the Mount Rushmore of NBA basketball players. Now, for his position and for offensive prowess, oh yeah, definitely. But not a GOAT. No, not even.
Okay. And on that, we're going to have to take a break right quick on the GOAT conversation. So we're going to be right back. We're going to talk a little bit more NBA. You are listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU at 95.9 FM. We will be right back.
Attention Shaker Heights residents. The United States Postal Service is bringing a mobile unit every Monday and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at 2855 East 130th Street in Cleveland. This mobile unit will offer services including stamps, package mailing, and money orders in place of the Shaker Finance Station, which is closed through October while enhancing security. P.O. Box customers should continue to pick up their mail at the Shaker Main Post Office at 3675 Warrensville Center Road, Mondays through Fridays from 8:30 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. The lobby will remain open for 24 hours a day. Once again, the United States Postal Service will use a mobile unit for Shaker Heights residents every Monday and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at 2855 East 130th Street in Cleveland through October. This is brought to you by the United States Postal Service and WOVU 95.9 FM. Our Voices United, a Burton Bell Carr community radio station.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle, WOVU 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports, and I'm here with Willie Epstein of the Shake Back Sports Show Network. All that he does, there's a long laundry list, but I don't really got time for that. We're going to get back to the NFL, our NFL talk. So what do you think about this Denver-Phoenix series in which Phoenix just swept Denver? Whoever comes out of that Utah-LA series, do you think that Phoenix has the potential to sweep them too?
Heck yeah. Well, the potential to sweep them? No, I don't think it'll be a sweep. No, I don't think it'll be a sweep at all, because when you have, look, the Lakers, well, let's see, who did they swept the Nuggets, okay? That was a bit of a surprise, but not really, because the Nuggets didn't have Jamal Murray. So basically, Jokic was out there by himself, or Nikola Jokic was out there by himself. He didn't really get a whole lot of help from Michael Porter Jr. and Will Barton. He came back in the series, but he's been out for a long time. I just think that this is just one of those times where the Suns were playing at a level that the Nuggets just couldn't keep up with.
Nate says, if the 76ers win the NBA Finals this year, then Danny Green will have the same number of NBA championships as LeBron. And considering the Cleveland Cavaliers got rid of Danny Green, isn't that something?
So what that mean?
He went on to win titles after he got the boot from here.
Robert Ory has 8 titles.
Big shot, Bob. I know.
Yes.
Yeah. But like, did you ever check his like lifetime statistics?
Yeah, he averaged less than 10 points a game.
Exactly. That's the crazy part. Exactly. That's the crazy part. Like 7 points a game.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
But hey, teams wanted him, the big shot Bob. He shot the ball and got it in at important time. So he didn't earn it. He earned that nickname, I guess, because that's what it was. But I'm just like, he averaged 7 points a game his career, which is crazy. But, hey, he's the one laughing all the way to the bank with all of his rings. So that series is over. So we got Utah, LA Clippers. Who do you think coming out of this series? This is a good one right here.
Yeah, and after game 2, I thought that the Clippers were in a little bit of trouble. But again, those players that have roles or that are the side pieces or whatever you want to call them, the others, they play much better at home than they do on the road. And I expected what happened to happen because, number one, Donovan Mitchell is hobbled again. Number 2, Mike Conley has not played since game 2. And he's the straw that stirs the drink for the Jazz. And they just haven't been able to hit any shots. Shots that you've seen them hit all year, they have not been able to hit any shots in the Staples Center. So going back to Utah again, I believe whoever wins this game 5 is going to win the series.
Okay. Sounds plausible. So yeah, that's some of the NBA action. So tonight, who playing tonight? Today is the 15th. So Milwaukee, Brooklyn plays tonight. So and then tomorrow, Utah, LA, Phoenix, Atlanta. So those are the games slated for tonight and tomorrow. Let's move on to some football. So your quarterback, Derek Carr, says he has no desire to leave the team. What has what's going on out there in Las Vegas with your Raiders, man, Derek Carr?
People have a love-hate relationship with Derek Carr as the quarterback for the Raiders. I'm part of this Raiders Facebook page where I've seen people bash this dude. I mean, like really seriously just bash him. Well, last year was the best year that he's had since he was going to be the MVP before he got his leg broke against the Colts. And I think it was week 15 back in 2016. We were 12-4 that year, and we were the Super Bowl favorites. By far, we were going to the Super Bowl that year. But last year, the Raiders started out well again, had some hiccups in the middle of the year, and then at the end of the year, dropped, I want to say, 3 out of 4. So you look at the season in quarters. First 4, middle 4, third 4, and then the last 4. That game against the Jets, it shouldn't have even been that close, but that's not Derek Carr's fault. Our defense has been so atrocious, really since I can't even remember, probably going all the way back to 2003. So there's been a lot of upgrades on the defense, and we have Gus Bradley coming in, a cover 3 type of coach, coming in to pull the strings, if you will. Derek Carr, he may not be elite, he may not be great, but he is very, very, very good, and you can win with him, especially when you have the weapons that the Raiders have. And with the acquisition of Kenyon Drake from Arizona at running back, you have a dynamic duo now in the backfield. You have the 3rd best tight end in the NFL in Darren Waller. You have probably the fastest wide receiver on the planet in Henry Ruggs III. But
he played in the softball game this past weekend as well here in Cleveland. Yeah, he did.
Wow. So, yeah. So, actually, George says the Raiders' D has been pathetic since Mac was traded to the Bears. The Raiders' defense was pathetic while Mac was there. That's why he got traded. And if you look at what's happened since he's been gone, it looks like the Raiders won this trade. Although the whole thing about, we can't get a pass rush, that's going to change this year because you got Ngoko on one side and you have Max Crosby on the other side, and you have some depth in the middle of the line. I think it's going to be a lot different this year than what Raiders fans have been used to. So in terms of Derek Carr, yeah, he said that basically if I had to go to another team, I would probably quit.
So why doesn't he get any love when he loves the Raiders so much? He said, I'm a Raider my entire life. I'm going to root for one team for the rest of my life, and it's the Raiders. So I just feel so strong in my heart. I don't need a perfect situation to make things right. I'd rather go down with the ship, you know what I'm saying, if I have to. So he just turned 30 in March. He was one of the highest paid quarterbacks. But why does he continue to, be subject of these rumors and stuff? I mean, I don't consider him great. I consider him serviceable. I mean, he was able to get a win off of the Cleveland Browns this past season. We'll see what happens when they come back here again this season because we played them again. So we'll see just how good he is. So hopefully the weather will not be an issue like it was this past game. But why can't he get no love?
Excuses. Look,
you doggone right.
If I put Derek Carr up against Baker Mayfield from a skill and talent standpoint, aside from the offenses that they play in, I'm taking Derek Carr every day of the week. I
won't argue that, actually.
Yeah, I'm taking Derek Carr. Yeah.
I'll let you have that. Like Kanye say, I'm going to let you finish. Go ahead. I'll allow it.
Yeah, so, look, Derek Carr has been victimized by very, very poor defenses. I mean, defenses that have been historically bad. And the year that we went 12-4, where he was on his way to the MVP, Crabtree was on one side, Amari Cooper was on the other side, Marshawn Lynch was in the backfield. I forget who the tight end was at that time. But the defense, again, was the weakest link. So why doesn't he get the love and respect? I don't know. Probably because you have a certain sector of people that says, well, if the quarterback is deemed to be as what the quarterback should be, then he should be able to carry them to victory. Okay, I agree with that, but Derek Carr is not that type of quarterback. He's not that type of quarterback. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not even Tom Brady. I mean, he's not Cam Newton in 2015. Derek Carr is a very, very good quarterback that has learned to not lose the game for you. He had a career low in turnovers last year, 17, fourth best in the league. So to answer your question, I like the dude. I would rather have him than a lot of other people are saying who we should get at this point.
And his brother too, right?
Oh, well, his brother just got beat up and down. You get sacked 107 times or whatever it was, you ain't gonna never be the same. Just saying, shoot.
Yeah, Derek Carr can't get no love. I don't know what it is and why he can't get no love, but I don't really know. What else? Because I had something else that was a burning desire in my heart to talk about. What are you looking forward to out of the Raiders minicamp?
I just want nobody to come out injured. I just don't want anybody to get injured. 2 years ago when Antonio Brown got there, he never really got on the field because of his feet. I don't want anything like that to happen. This team, I think, is going to surprise a lot of people. The Stephen A's of the world, the Keyshawn Johnsons of the world, the Rachel Hills of the world.
No, I don't really. All I care about is the Browns beating them en route to the AFC title game. That's all I care about.
Right.
Which I think is going to happen. I think they're going to beat them this year.
Right.
I don't think weather will be an issue like it was. We'll have Nick Chubb back. Remember, we didn't have Nick Chubb for that game. The weather was terrible.
I will be there.
I know, yeah, you'll be there live in person to see it, and I'm trying to be there as well too, live in person to see that. So, hope it's not a waste of a trip when your team, goes down. But you're going to be able to get the Cleveland experience. You're going to get a chance to hang with me and Nat, so it's going to be all good. So I think that's the most important thing that we're all looking forward with these mini camps is that none of our teams get hurt. So we're almost done. So how can people get at you, Willie?
Twitter @Shakeback Media Group. Same thing for Instagram. My shows, I have 4 of them, 2 podcasts, 2 regular shows. Hashtag Brothers of Baseball Show, Big Game Christian Sports Network, BGCSports.net, TuneIn app, Radio Garden, 12s and 6s Central Time, all around the clock, Monday through Friday. Shakeback Sports Show, that is on the 12s and 6s Saturday and Sunday. Shakeback Sports Show OT podcast. Rachel, you've been on that. That's available on iTunes and Spotify and Google Podcasts. And we just had our first episode of the hashtag Family of Baseball. That's myself. That's you as well when you come on. That's Mike Martinez. That's Natalie Turk. That one actually just aired last night.
All righty. And I am 1ST Lady of Sports, and that is our time. This is Her in the Huddle, WOVU 95.9 FM. We are out of here.